Hi there, Godwin Selassie Dapo here again. This is Make It Legal. Today, we're talking about the court system in Ghana.
Make it legal.
Have you been to court before? You've been hearing the word court, 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 court. And to many people, all that lawyers do is to go to court. That is a very wrong perception we'll talk about later. But all the same. So today we're talking about court. Have you been to any court before? Let me hear your answer in the comment section. There are many courts in Ghana. In fact, several of them. And lawyers often go there every day. Citizens often go there every day to resolve a dispute or to have a matter that the court handles, sorted for them and all of that. So they want to understand the court system and the various courts we have. So we'll be talking about the types of courts in Ghana, the levels they are in terms of superiority to each other or one another, and also we'll be talking about the name or the title given to the judge who presides over a particular court. Let's get straight into it. So there are two levels of court or a dual court system. We have the lower court and then the superior courts. It used to be superior court and inferior court, but we oftentimes want to not make a court look inferior. So why use the word inferior court? So we say lower and superior courts. Okay, so what are the lower courts we have in Ghana? There are basically two, technically speaking, two, right? So we have the district court. District courts have a limit as to which matters they can, resolve. For example, they have a magisterial district. They cannot exceed certain geographical limits to handle matter. For example, a district court in Medina cannot go and handle matter that is happening in, say, Edum and Kumasi. That will be out of its scope and power. And also, if a particular case comes before it and involves money or property, and the value of the property is more than 500,000 Ghana cedis, the district court cannot handle it. It's interesting to know that, right? So, if someone owes you money, say 50,000 Ghana cedis, and the person refuses to pay, and you want to send a person to court to get the money back, you can go to, say, a district court because the money is less than 500,000 cedis. That is, I think, interesting for you to know. I mean, whenever you have such cases, your lawyer will advise you on how exactly to approach it. So don't bother about it, but you need to know. Another thing you should also know is that those who preside there are called magistrates. They are judges, but they call them magistrates. And the title that we give them is Your Worship. Have you heard that before? I think you might have heard it before. We call them Your Worship. Your Worship. So that's just a term we use. And then it's how we address the judges, the magistrate, Your Worship. District court can also sit as a juvenile and family tribunal. They are basically district court, but they sit as a family and juvenile tribunal to handle a particular matter which is relating to children, certain matters specified by law. So when they sit like that, usually they sit as a panel of three, two persons who are not lawyers or who is not a judge, then one person who is a district magistrate or a judge. So he or she sits with the two persons, one a social welfare officer, and there are requirements. We'll talk about jurisdiction in a separate video. So three persons, they hear and make a decision on the matter. The judge is the one who takes care of all the legal implications. The other people also are concerned about social matters that maybe the judge may not consider. So that is it. So it's a district court, but it's sitting in such capacity as a juvenile court. Okay. Then there are also certain committees that I want to mention to you. They also sit as if they are court. Okay, National House of Chiefs and Regional House of Chiefs. They also cite some judicial powers to hear matters affecting chieftaincy. That's a big work in law. It can result in so many arguments among lawyers. So matters affecting chieftaincy are discussed or resolved, I should say, by the National House of Chiefs or the Regional House of Chiefs or a traditional council, depending on the level. Okay. And the National House of Chiefs itself doesn't really hear the matter, but they have a committee called Judicial Committee. The Judicial Committee of the National House of Chiefs or the Judicial Committee of the Regional House of Chiefs or the traditional council, judicial committee. They're the ones that actually handle such disputes that affect chieftaincy matters. That's about district court is part of the lower court. The second lower court we have in Ghana is called the circuit court. Circuit court is higher than the lower court, although it's also a lower court. It's higher than district court, I should say, although it's also a lower court, but it's higher than district court. So if, for example, there's a monetary claim or you have money you are claiming from someone and the money, the sum involved or the property involved, the value of the property exceed 2 million Ghana cedis, the circuit court cannot exercise jurisdiction over it. But if it is from 500,000 Ghana cedis to 2 million, then it's within the power of the district court to hear it. And then they also have geographical limits. They cannot hear cases outside the regions. A circuit court in whole has the power to hear matters within the whole region, the voter region, I should say, but cannot hear something, say, in Greater Accra, Ashanti region, and another region in Ghana. That is just how it is. So, last thing you should know about them, the judges that preside there, how do we call them? Do we call them magistrates? Let me know what you think in the comment section. That is it. We'll talk about the ones that pertain to higher courts. We call superior courts. We'll talk about them in our next video. Please stay tuned. Like this video, share it, comment, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is Godwin Selassie Dabo, and this is Make It Legal.
Make it legal.